the most cruel thing that a person could do to a special education student. The problem here with this false documentation, him being in a classroom by himself with his teacher, what if she would have said, oh, he punched me in the face or he touched me inappropriately? What if he would have had no protection? It would have been her word against his, which is how it usually ends up in these cases. I've been down this road several times. Trust me, I know. It all works out in favor of the staff. And the staff could be lying like crazy. When you look at these police reports and you look at these school reports and hospital reports, everything is altered to favor everyone except the student. And the student is typically the most reliable person in that situation. Oh, I have plenty of stories I could tell you about that, but that's not what this video is about. So after I brought this up in my certified letter that was addressed to Miss Patricia Gunshore, and I copied Mr. Bill Barnes and Dr. Terrell Savage, there was nothing that was really said. The outcome of that was, from that point on, the end of the day behavior reports went home with no times on them. So I connected with the teacher and I was like, hey, look, I need you to put times on his schedule so I can track his day and track the events and know at what time things happen. That only makes sense. You don't have a student going to school and they have a schedule with no times. How will they know where to be and at what time? So this teacher, I don't get it, but she would not put the times. She just responded and said, well, you know what's going on during the day. We talked about that. You have the initial schedule. Okay. I still wanted the times, but she refused to put the times. So interestingly, for that behavior incident, Miss Gunshore just so happened to be at the scene, at the school. It's like, why? Who does that? The coordinator of compliance is at the school with one student during a behavior crisis? She said, well, they called me, so I came in. Okay, so on February 22nd, that was a really crazy day because I had the police at my house because my daughter was having major issues with her behavior. And now my son was having an issue at school. So they called me from the school to come and pick him up. So when I got to the school, guess who's in the lobby? Miss Gunshore is in the lobby. Now, coordinator of compliance, don't you have like an IEP meeting to be at or something? She's in the lobby. I hear my son screaming upstairs, yelling, and I said, let me go upstairs and calm him down because I didn't want things to escalate where they had to get grassroots and cops and all that stuff involved. So I didn't know what really was going on. So I said, let me go calm him down. I can calm him. I was prohibited from going upstairs. I'm waiting in the lobby and she says, well, they're going to bring him down. The staff will bring him down to you. I'm waiting in the main office for my son. Then I notice that he's being snuck out the back door of the school. He was put in handcuffs and put in the back of a police car and taken to Howard County General Hospital. I ran outside full speed. Wait, let me talk to him. I can calm him down. They had already called the cops and grassroots. I could have calmed him down, but I wasn't given that opportunity. I was furious. This false documentation was an absolute 100% setup. No cameras, no witnesses, wouldn't let me come upstairs, which makes me now realize that's probably why I couldn't come upstairs. Was this even a provoked type of behavioral incident? Guilford Park High School is right next to a prison. So the way they were treating him, it was kind of like a pipeline to the prison. Handcuffing him and taking him to the hospital, re-traumatizing him. Miss Gunshore was aware police officers were triggered for my son. Even though he likes police officers, it was a trigger for him because of his many hospitalizations. And that was just so cruel how she allowed that to happen. You can say whatever you want. You can document whatever you want because it's the teacher's word against the students were. And because he's autistic, who's going to believe him? It's her word over his. Who do you think they're going to believe? I had a staff actually tell me that at the hospital when my son was abused at the hospital. It's my word against his. Who do you think they're going to believe? And it's true. Regardless of the fact that my son is one of the most honest and trustworthy people who actually gets upset when he sees another person being treated unfairly, he would be considered not a credible source based on his disability. Is it fair? No. Is it the reality? Absolutely 100% yes. The cops wouldn't even let me talk to him, and I couldn't figure out why. I told them, I'm his legal guardian. I mean, it was clear that he was a student. I'm his legal guardian. I'm his parent. Let me talk to him. I know he's 21, but he has a disability. Let me talk to him. Ma'am, if you want to talk to your son, then you'll just have to meet him at the hospital. So I went to the hospital. I snuck in the back door so that I could be with him, and I ended up getting escorted out of the area by the security guard. I was trying to give his medical history, trying to give all of the information, because he can talk and he could answer some questions, but there are things that he couldn't answer on a medical level that only I knew. The doctor, everyone, they were treating me like I was this parent that they heard about, and they jumped on the bandwagon and was treating me some kind of way. So instead of allowing me to be an advocate for my son and to be with my son to provide the proper information so it could be documented correctly, I was escorted out of the emergency room and taken to the lobby by security, where Miss Gunshaw and another staff were sitting. Interestingly, the nurses came out and went directly to the school staff before they came to me. They interacted, talked. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, who does that? I'm the parent, not them. I couldn't believe my eyes. This happened like twice. So, of course, I'm on social media making a TikTok video because I'm like so upset about what was going on. And this was happening. This was like really happening in real time. And I could not go and see my son. He was scared. He was screaming. He was crying. I couldn't even be there. I felt helpless, useless. I felt like this bad parent that could not be there for her child. I felt like I needed to do more. But if I would have done any more, I probably would have ended up in jail. So I waited, and eventually my phone died. So I had to go and get my charger from home. I had to go get some food. Before I left, Miss Gunshaw and the other staff walked out by me, and that was that. So later the hospital called me and they were like, oh, can you come back? He needs you here. We can't get him to calm down. Well, probably because I told you, I needed to be there. Medications, I don't even know what injections he was given, nothing. So later I got a copy of the police report and I went to the patient portal and pulled the hospital report. When I looked at the report, I thought I was literally going to pass out. Literally going to pass out. So the police report stated that a school staff advised that my son was not a student at Guilford Park High School, but instead he was in a mental health program at this school to help him with his autism.